Hi everyone and welcome back to another review. So today we are looking at the beautiful book Stjärnfall. I don't know if that's how you say it, but it means falling stars and it is in Swedish. It is the new colouring book from Maria Trolle, who is one of our best loved illustrators in the colouring book community. It is a hardback book like all of Maria's previous books, and it is just stunning production quality. You can see that we've got some UV type of UV embossing on the front cover to these illustrations of the trees, and it kind of has a feel almost like a fabric. It is really nice just to hold and to look at. Yeah, it's beautiful. So we turn it to the back and you can see that we've got thumbnails of all of Maria's previous colouring books if there's some that you haven't got. Now, I'm assuming that this will come out as an English edition on Amazon at some point. I hope it will, but for now you can buy this Swedish edition online wherever you live in the world, and I'll leave those links in the description box underneath. So let's open the book, see what we've got. And we come into the first pages. So you can see that I've done a little bit of test colouring on this book, and I used some water-based brush pens, these ones here from Stationery Island. I've had these in to have a look at. I bought them from a lady that I saw on TikTok actually, and they are really nice. As they're water-based, I would have expected there to be some feathering and not very good blending, but just on this little bit here I can see that it's blended really well, and these are water-based, but it looks almost like an alcohol marker blend. And then I've put just a little bit of sparkly gel pen. I use the Star Sparks by Karen, and then on here as well I did the same, just to test it really and see whether or not we get any bleed through on this paper from wetter media or gel pens. And if we just turn over, you can see that there is a very slight bit of shadowing bleed on here from the areas that I was doing the most blending, so I was laying the most water down, but still not that bad, I can live with that. So we've got an introduction here from Maria, which I've taken the time to translate for you, and I'll read it now. The lake sky with its dark blue depth and sparkling band of stars is something that's fascinated humans since time immemorial. Experiencing one's own smallness in the infinity of space creates perspective, maybe also a feeling of being part of something bigger. Last winter, a comet swept past near Earth. You could see its green glow with the naked eye if you looked up at the night sky. With binoculars, the comet's tail could be seen, dancing its ancient dance. I was inspired and started drawing pictures of comets and shooting stars. That's how the idea for this book was born. When a star falls, you get to wish for something. For me, it was a hopeful reminder that we all have the opportunity to find something that brings us joy and happiness. In this colouring book, I've sprinkled stars in the illustrations, sometimes big, sometimes small, often hidden. Just like with wishes, sometimes it's the small and seemingly insignificant ones that are the most important. My wish with this book is that you who paint in it will have a moment of creativity, joy, and imagination. What's your wish? So what a beautiful introduction there from Maria. And it really does give us insight into the book. It's all about magical, that magical feeling that you get when you see a shooting star, and just how crazy huge this universe is, and how we're only a very small part of it, but a significant part of it. And everything is made up of stars, isn't it, as they say? So yeah, I love it. It's beautiful. It's very cozy. It feels like a warm hug, this book. So let's go through and have a look. So a lot of the illustrations are circular like this. They're spherical, they're sort of centered on the page. And as she says, they all incorporate stars or wishes or dreams in some sense. But we also have those very particular style parts of it from Maria. So we know that she absolutely loves to draw botanicals and flowers and plants, and that does weave its way through the book as well. So I'm going to go through pretty quickly because there are quite a few illustrations in this book. I'm just going to check my notes and see if I can find out exactly how many. I think there's 88 pages in the book, so you've got quite a lot to be getting on with. and it's just lovely. It does somewhat lay flat, but I don't think any of the illustrations in the book go into the spine, so you don't have to worry about that. So this is just lovely. Look at this cute little star just racing past Earth, and this little tiny isolated house on its own on the hilltop overlooking the water. So these illustrations, for the most part, are quite basic. There is no intricate detail for you to have to worry about getting into or spending a crazy amount of time colouring them. They're all quite large spaced, and I don't want to use that word basic because I don't want to say basic as in a derogatory thing, but they are simple enough for you to not get a little bit daunted by colouring them. So we've got animals and insects and lots of foliage. Here's an underwater one with a couple of whales and a mermaid, some jellyfish. And this is gorgeous. Look at this. It's just all of the hair is made up of waves. And then you've got the ship sailing on the stormy seas, of course, surrounded by the stars. And you can see when she said that there are some hidden stars or not so noticeable stars in the book, like on the mermaid's chest here, the little bralette made of stars. And I think a star is hidden on every page. So let's just try and find a few of them. I can see one here on this apple, and I can see one nestled here in the leaves at the bottom of this illustration. Lots of stars on this page. Another fantastic page. I can imagine that being coloured just with galaxies and all the different colours, looking fantastic. Where's the hidden star on this picture? I can't see it. Well, there are some stars here, so I'll let her off of that. I don't think all of them are hidden. I think some of them are. That's what she said in the introduction. So if they're not immediately noticeable to you, they will be hidden in the illustration, like this one underwater somewhere. But a lot of these illustrations, as I said, are quite centred in the centre of the page. So there is some blank space above and below and side to side on these images, which on these ones doesn't seem too bad. But I think on these spherical pieces, there's just a lot of space around it. And I just feel like maybe the space could be utilised a bit better, but that's not to detract from the book, the quality, and of course the beautiful illustrations. Maybe these have such a large border because Maria was wary of going into the middle of the book, which is really helpful for us. But yes, it's beautiful. I mean, it's really hard to appreciate images on a camera, to be honest. And when you've got the book in your hands and you can look properly at all the nuances of the illustrations, it does make a big difference. Sometimes I think that videos can't do a book justice as well as having it in your hands. And but this is lovely. This is something that you could colour with your children or as an adult colourist. You know, it's got that appeal across all ages. And of course, with these larger areas, you've got a lot of space to create your own background. So here, for example, I can imagine it would be quite easy to use lots of soft pastels to create a gradient sky or what have you. So there is room and scope for you to create your own backdrops to these. This is lovely. Just sat in the clouds. And then we have, looks like oranges and lemons. They'll be quite fun to colour. Try and get them looking a bit realistic. Look at this tree just made of stars. Beautiful. Little hidden cat. A house nestled inside a lily. And a cute little tree frog. Just lovely. It's like I said, it feels like a hug. It feels comforting. It feels cosy. I just adore Maria's work. I don't colour it as much as I should, to be honest. Look at this floral crown. This is another one that seems too small for the area, but I can imagine people doing something amazing with the background. So some of the illustrations do have thicker line work, such as this one here. If you compare it to this, this is very fine and light. So there's a variation for whatever you prefer. It doesn't really bother me either way. I would say I slightly do prefer the finer lines because I think it makes your colouring pop out more and seem slightly more realistic, but I don't really mind either way. This heron or stork or whatever it is has just picked up a star. And then, oh look, the little axolotls. So cute. I really want an axolotl. I don't know why. They're just really cute. I feel like they're almost an alien species that shouldn't exist, you know? They just have that look about them. They've got sort of like humanoid arms and legs, and then just all these branches. It looks like something out of Avatar, or yeah, love an axolotl. And we've got another side-on portrait of a female here whose hair is made up of different things. So we had the waves before. Now we've got this lovely little forest garden with a house and lots of different flowers. Little girl on the swing. Wonder where the hidden star... Oh, there it is. It's not too hidden. Do we have one in this one? Hidden star. Ah, yes, it's up in the tree. I was looking down here. She had me fooled for a minute. It was going to be hidden in all this stuff, but it's up there in the tree. Now you can see that there are some imprints on this. You might be able to see, you might not. That's because I've coloured a page, I think it's the next page, and it's just imprinted the ink onto the following page, and all you have to do to get rid of that is just take an eraser, and it will come off really easily. Or you can just be proactive like me and put some paper underneath to catch any of that ink, but I just tend to just get into things and don't think properly about what I'm doing. So yes, this is the one that I've coloured, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I used a tutorial from Claire Holloway, the lovely Claire Holloway, for the sky and the water. So I'll link that below if you want to have a look into doing that for yourself. It is a lovely tutorial that really gives you that sense of a very soft, very calm, pale sunrise over the water, and that's what I wanted to portray with this. I wanted it to be very idyllic, very calm, just doing a little spot of fishing very early in the morning before the world wakes up, and I hope that that's what has been captured with my colouring. But yeah, had a lot of fun doing it. I used Prismacolor for the whole thing, so yeah, love it. Hope you do too. So we've got the little girl hiding in there again. I think she's looking up at this hidden star. And then we've got a big page of mushrooms, toadstools. And I tell you what would be fantastic to do on these pages. I don't know whether you've seen it. I have shared it. My friend Stephanie, who runs PNW Colorist on YouTube, she has created some fantastic mushroom tutorials for different things. So she has a bumblebee and a ladybird, and there's just lots of different things that you can actually do with a mushroom to create something totally different and make them look fantastic and unique. So I'll link her below as well if you want to have a look. But yeah, it's these big wide open space mushrooms are ideal for that. Oh, look at this little mouse just curled up, got his little tail around the branches here. And again, she's looking for those stars. Lots of big leaves here, lots of space for blending or detail. If you want to do like a Chris Cheng leaf, so really kind of hyper realistic leaf, you could definitely do that on here. There is enough space to play around with it. This is lovely as well. Look at all the stuff that's been captured in just this small sphere. So we've got clouds, mountains, a rainbow. We have the sea that's going off into this lake. There is a waterfall at the end, and the castle nestled in there. Gorgeous. The shooting stars, of course, at the top. Didn't see those at first. And then we have another portrait. This is face on this time, but very simple. You do not have to worry about getting your skin tone looking realistic. You can just play around with it. You can do a fantasy skin tone. There's a lot of room there for you to create your own highlights, shadows, and nothing is wrong. Whatever you do with this, it's unique to you, and I don't think there should be any worry in colouring. That's counterintuitive. So, oh, look at this little rabbit. He's hiding. I think there's a lot of like hide and seek in this book, obviously with the stars, but then the animals also seem to be peeping through foliage, and yeah, just like they're being looked for. It's a game, or they're trying to keep hidden. Look at this squirrel taking away the star. This looks lovely. I can imagine this being coloured as snow, because it kind of looks like the roof of this cabin has snow on it, but it could equally be thatched. But can you imagine all of this snow covering all of the bushes and things down here, and it just looking like a really snowy but clear, crisp winter's night. We've got a unicorn with another falling star. And we have the girl here, she is holding onto what looks to me to be the moon, but it could be the sun. I'm just looking at the girl opposite, and she's holding what I think is the earth with falling stars. So I guess this is whatever you decide it's going to be. But yeah, that's a really nice pair of images there that just connect with each other. I guess this is the sun, because here she's got the moon on her forehead. So maybe this is the sun and the moon, and you can do different colour palettes for both. So we've got some of these hanging flowers. I always forget what they are called. I'm sure you'll tell me. But look, it's the girl again with the side portrait with the hair, crazy hair. And this time it's like squirrels, I think. These look like squirrels. Yeah, just so like imaginative. I don't know where she gets all her ideas from. Loads more mushrooms, big blank ones this time without even any dots on. So you could definitely do those tutorials I told you about and just make them look incredible. We've got the sun shining through some foliage. And again, another nighttime scene. I get the feel that this is more summertime. We've got some flowers down here, and I don't see any snow or anything. So this would be good for a summery counterpart to the winter one. We've got some singing flowers. How cute. And she's got her little fairy wings, and she's looking up and being serenaded by the flowers. And here is a castle in the sky, just nestled in the cloud. And we've got what looks like a cat king with the sun behind, and this headband. I guess I feel royalty from this. So we've got another circular image of a waterfall going into the water here, and this girl is looking ahead at the castle, the ships, and she's sat with her little bunny friend. And then here she is, she has the crown on, so clearly she's part of the royalty. She's probably a princess who's taken leave of the castle just to get a bit of peace and quiet. And you can see here she's with her little deer friend. Now these would definitely make fantastic Christmas images. You can see that these are snow-capped hills, and of course there's the reindeer, but I love how the reindeer's antler has actually been made into a kind of like a candelabra like you would have at Christmas time, you know, with the many candles on it. I think it's also like a Jewish thing, like a Hanukkah thing, to have the candles set out in a certain way. I could be wrong, but I think that's what they do. But yeah, gorgeous images. And look at this, very simple again, not too detailed, but lots and lots of room for doing blends on this hair. This girl looks to me like a bit of a punk, so I'm gonna say she's gonna have like pink hair with black roots and all these gold crusted stars. And then we have another circular image with lots of shooting stars, and it looks like these houses are a little community in the sky, because we see they're right on top of a hill and all of the clouds are floating past. With a reindeer with snowflakes. This would be an ideal image to get you kicked off into your Christmas colouring. I tend to try and wait till December before I even let Christmas cross my mind. You know, I'll buy presents and things here and there, but I'll try not to I don't want to listen to any Christmas music or put any decorations up or anything until December, purely because I used to be one of these people that wanted to do everything really, really early and get into that Christmas spirit. And then I'd always find that by actual Christmas Day, it seemed very anticlimactic, and by Boxing Day I'll have taken everything down because I was just sick of the sight of it. So, you know, and I think it's when your kids grow up as well, a bit of that magic leaves and it's just not what it was. So I try and leave it till December so I can get the maximum out of it. So we've got another what could be snowy scene, and I think that's the last page. It is the last page of the book. So as I say, beautiful hardcover, has that feeling of fabric to it. It's textured and it's just beautiful. The paper itself, I think this is the same paper that Maria always uses, the same paper that you tend to find in these Swedish books like Hanna Karlsson and the like. And yeah, the blends worked really, really well with Prismacolor pencils, and the tooth, I would say again, it's more of a smooth paper, but there is definitely tooth there. It's just not heavy tooth. So yeah, make of that what you will. If you've got Maria's previous books, you'll know exactly what I mean. But I'm in love with it. I think it's lovely, and this would make a fantastic Christmas gift for somebody who's interested in colouring, because like I say, it feels like it's got a weight to it. It feels really, really quality, you know. So I will leave the links in the description below for you to grab a copy of this book. As I say, it is out now in its Swedish iteration, and you can get that from a couple of different places. I'll leave the links below. And I'd just really like to know what you think of it, and I love to hear from you. So I will see you very soon on Colour with Claire.